of light, we shine bright. We are not a true
with dinner, so I just want to tell in a say we are then they come with them all white iconic events. Again for be Saturday, June 28th, live inside France. You know, get for funny, of course, we know say, you know, anything when our Bible and Shembe Pierre in the one. Now top notch iconic. You understand what I mean? Don't forget June 28th, live inside France. We are with them all white iconic event.
Remember, Saturday, 28th of June, live inside France na Strasbourg. We are white dinner and iconic party. No can support Sengbe PM by Bure. See you all there. See you there. Love you.
Hey yo, what it do all? This your boy MDJ, me people them no kusha no kabo. So check this out. I count a very important date where I want to make una look right now on our calendar. Saturday, June 28th, we yard. Then they come up with a dinner and iconic all-white party. This event will take place inside France, so to me salon people within the France area, lock this date now your calendar because this na event where you know want for miss. And you never know, some of we within the other side might pull up on una and say bonjour, oui, come on Twitter appel. But once again, Saturday, June 28th, una come out in Chinese number make we support we yard as they throw them dinner and iconic all-white party. Booyaka 10 peace and I'm out.
Join us for the iconic dinner and white party.
Me not so clean case, man.
I don't stress.
Some man a clean case, man. What? Anyway, me wey see me so I dey support we are. I dey subscribe to we are. I dey watch all them program. They know enough. Enough. Saturday, June 28th, make am possible for Canada, France, capital city of European Parliament, for can support weird, iconic white and dinner dance. Trust me, you get to be one of a kind because you get to get the opportunity for meet and greet by Bure and Sembepia. But guess what? King Amidi, by Bure and Sembepia, una if una see me white, una the true una white say. June 28th, capital city, King Amid. Yeah.
Join us for the iconic dinner and white party.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I am so excited to share with you this news. We are presenting iconic dinner and dance on the 28th of June in France. Come on, let us support, and there's gonna be lots of different surprises. You don't want to miss out. We yard 28th of June, Saturday. See you, yes, you see.
Join us for the iconic dinner and white party.
Hey yo, hello, me family them, me salon people them. On the 28th of June, right inside France, Strasbourg, we had they present the iconic white party, dinner white party, the 28th of June. So I want to see all my friends, my fans, and my family, and my salon people them. When I'm can support by Bure and Sembepie, you know now, people's strictly for the ladies.
Join us for the iconic dinner and white party.
Yo, what up, guys?
guys? What up? Black Lion already here, man. Guys, something big is happening in France. Saturday, June 28th, man. Come through, man. Come out in numbers, man, and support Vibration. But Pierre, all white party, man. It's gonna be something late. It's gonna be something epic, man. You really don't want to miss that. If you miss that, well, now you miss so. Come through, man. Let's have a good time, man. Black Lion already.
Join us for the iconic dinner and white party. From so long we rise, why aren't we to shine? Bringing lights, holding truth,
Today I'd
we
like
fight for
to
time.
welcome everyone to this press conference and share members' apology for starting a little late. Firstly, shall we have a word of prayer in our individual religious beliefs? Amen. Amen. For the purposes of us getting to know ourselves, I think it's worth us having a round of introductions. And I think we should start from here, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend James Lahai. I am the National Coordinator for National Election Watch.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I am Reginald Brian Osoya, and I'm from Epic Radio.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Honorable Alfred Mansure, Deputy Parliamentary Spokesman for the All People's Congress and Parliament, and I'm here to represent the Minority Leader.
Good morning. I am Alfred Kroma from Concord Times newspaper.
Good morning. I'm Mohamed Sanko, aka Wondwalk, Nationalist newspaper.
Good morning. I'm Mohamed Kalon, African News.
Good morning. I'm Noel Samuel, Feature newspaper.
Good morning, all. AIJ Promo, AIB Print.
Good morning. Anso Osayo Kamara, Comrade.
Good morning. I'm Emilio Rossetti. I'm the Deputy Head of Mission at the European Union delegation here in Freetown.
Good morning. Alhaji Dauda Musbangura, the name, also publisher of the Our newspaper.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Zainab Sunkai Kurma, Standard Times and City Winter.
Good morning, everybody. Former president of Crow Descendants Union and an activist of the city of Freetown.
I love that. Good morning, everyone. I am Adi Macaulay, a private legal practitioner and a presidential aspirant for the All People's Congress.
Good morning, everybody. I am Waltina Cummings of Queer Descendants Union.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Abdul M. Fatuma. I work for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, CHRDI.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Francis Refu, Executive Director, Center of Dialogue on Human Settlement and Poverty Alleviation.
Adeyemi Jackson, Radio Democracy.
Good morning, everyone. Claude Bami Davis, PRO, the Lawyer Society.
Thank you very much. At this point, I will take the singular honor of introducing those people that are not strangers to us, who are our councillors, all lined up there, back there. Please raise your hands, all our councillors over there, and members of staff of FCC that are here, and the MDU team. We're all part of Freetown City Council. Thank you very much. And lastly, but not the least, our dynamic leadership here, I worship the Mayor, Ivan Akisoya, OBE. She is our host and my humble self, Now, without further ado, I just want this is going to be a mixed press conference. A bit of English because we have guests with us, and also we need to articulate the point better for all our people to understand why we're here. Primarily, the reason why we're doing here so for discourse the latest conversation that's been going around town. Sorry, I beg your pardon. We also have the president of the Traders Council with us, Mr. Fude. Thank you very much for joining us. Back to what I was saying. Recently, we're hearing about the vision of the city is coming from the central government, how that's going to be divided. And when you think about it, the nature of the suggestion is clearly something that warrants a thorough discussion amongst not just Freetonians, but stakeholders in the country at large, given the purpose, the role of our capital city and the role it has played in our country for hundreds of years, if you like. This city was founded in 1792, and we've never had a situation where we can talk about how to divide Freetown. We all don't grow up knowing, say, Freetown get Eastern, you get Western, and then we don't get rural. So all of a sudden in 2025, we're faced with a situation where out of all the issues then, when a burning issue really affects Sierra Leoneans then, the most important issue all of a sudden has become the division of our city. So this is a topic that it appears that as though they want to do it without the requisite conversation around it. Because maybe, even though for the most part I struggle to see the merits in the idea, but a debate on it could clearly explain to everybody why make we not for drum, or in the extreme event why make we for drum. But to just do it unilaterally without engaging the people who get for effect, we don't believe that the right way for go forward. That is why we have organized this press conference. It is too much of an important issue for the left farm unaddressed. That is why today we need to try for come together and bring people of like minds for can have a press conference about this. And we don't hear quite a few rumors as to why this is being done. And one of the main rumors that we're hearing about Freetown overpopulated and all of that. But I mean, it's quite confusing because when you think about it, about overpopulation, the last census the tourists say Kenema populated past Freetown. So is there an intention for a space because the population is big? These are conversations we have to have. We cannot just ignore them and pretend they don't exist. And as those of us who've been following the social media, Her Worship the Mayor shared with Freetonians an open letter which was addressed to the Minister of Local Government, and clearly setting out the reasons why this idea is not only it's a non-starter, because of the real challenges behind the city's problems has nothing to do with the numbers, but a variety of other things, including decentralization and all of that. But we have people here today with us who have been selected to be part of this press conference to elaborate on various areas when it comes to the ramifications that will arise as a result of what is intended. We'll be having a conversation around the legal consequences, legal ramifications, policy on human rights, and the historical legacy of the city, and other issues that will come up. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if we are here, this is why we're here. At this juncture, I'd like to call on our very first speaker, who would be Auntie Cassandra Gaba, to talk a bit about the historical legacy of our city. You don't have to come to the front.
Say, when I introduce myself, I say being a President Emerita of Creole Descendants. So, and I hope you do not mind if I talk to you, although of course many of you know say career and talk in English. So when I read this thing, it shook me because according to the history of this we Freetown where they call Western area now. In 1792, when the British government, of course, after the slave trade, when they defend the slave trade, when they don't pass the parliament for abolish slave trade and for stop the selling before they abolish them, and decide for send some of the freed slaves them out of the country where them in there, some in there England and plenty in there America. So then choose there. How they manage choose them? One man, one British man, when they do research now. Banana Island, they do research on ants. So it don't did there for years. Now help convince the British people them and this abolition. Say you're in a good place for send the slaves them. Already they don't get some British people when we there one company, business company. So then don't they are and yeah, also Freetown now be important place for the first world as they call them, the Portuguese, the Dutch, all their explorers. One side at Naya when they travel for go India, they can pass here, go round that and the Suez Canal now there, for go round Cape Coast. They can need first time of course, and now they get fresh water in a bottle. So when they run out of water, they happen one explorer don't find out say we get one side one something like water side na yeah we get good fresh water. So yeah na be good point where they can always stop. I make we get the Reuters stone. The Reuters stone to King Jimmy na lead na the area where they can stop for get fresh water. So this area we don't know to the white people say a good area for business and all that. Now in 1792, when they decide for bring the Nova Scotia and Kenya, they get for the British government because they take responsibility for this slave trade. Many of the people them that them can buy with the black man them or sell them in America. So they get that conscience they say for do something or they will make up for the bad way they don't do. They make from Canada for bring the freed slaves, them settlers as we call them. They make arrangement, business arrangement with the people their way in there with the heads of the inhabitants of the people that would have here. Then they call them kings. Now make when we they read the history of the founding, they will say the business arrange the charter, the business paper where they make the agreement, they call that charter, was signed with King named Banner. And make we get then also that we don't sign one with another chief with the king. Now make we get King Jimmy after the man because that man didn't make King Jimmy. So they make agreement with King and Banner in the big chief among all the other were king, the important king. So now he signed the paper. And the paper where he signed the charter business, then put clearly say, I can read what they put that the charter say. The charter say it was an agreement signed by both parties and the entrenched clause, the area was bought for free communities, their heirs and successors ad perpetuum. That expression they ad perpetuum. plenty legal matters and papers, and he always use Latin. Ad perpetuum means forever and ever. Table. So this area was bought for free communities, their heirs and successors. And so now that gives we claim, and we don't claim that we the offspring of the settlers when and that. Then later on, of course, the big world, then free slave, yeah, can develop. And then, of course, when they develop business and the business people, then when they come by Piassava and all that, business can build up. And then begin go into the interland, upline, something we call upline, that's an interland. And meet, of course, the people then when they then belong. So later on, when you do business, you get forget I did them, you get the people that way you sell and buy for, you know they get some community arrangement. So plenty things they happen in this area of West Africa. The French people themselves don't begin find out say let's say now when they do business. And make you see them of the world where are not so well don't go school. But we see West Africa. You get the English and the French speaking country, they all get like one after the other. You get Gabé, then you get Conakry, then you get Freetown, of course, like Liberia and I'm a part of the free slave. Then you get Togo, then you get Accra, then you get Benin, then I'm French speaking, so that's so they all day. So, but yeah, come back to real things. Yeah, the interland, when the French people then reach Guinea, they want spread, they begin to among them people. The British then now say, like, they want can and decide we then say they do business. So, now they begin arrange with them kings up like in the interland say, if there people here come, they will come and go to they come with gun and this that. So we go protect you. We go come they help you for fetch them. So gradually that's how they take spread in the interland. And then that go on and go on and go on and spread.
I just want to take this opportunity to.
So 1836.
Just perfect. So Atikasan, yes, Adiola, you will get like 5 minutes. Can you say the encyclopedia on Freetown? And so what's I want follow we do now for just let you just wrap up quickly because we're going to need you again when we have the town hall. So this is just the preamble. This is a press conference where we articulate the issues then, and then we tell people the reasons why this is a very serious issue that needs to be properly debated by Freetonians and stakeholders of this country. Certainly. No, just round up. Okay.
1896, 90 British then decide say make the interland part of the colony. Now them pass a law what they call the what them call it was called the Protectorate Administrative Act. The Protectorate Administrative Act, 1896. Now that 1896 day, now the people of the interland become Sierra Leonean. Before, now only we, the Texas and the Peking, then the Sierra Leoneans. So, them people in the interland were subjects of the traditional rulers who were kings. At that time, now you know the British man, they don't get king and they get king. So now they changed their name to Paramount Chief. From 1896, now we own that.
I think that is a convenient point for us to round up on Auntie Kassan's contribution. Thank you very much. I think that was very, very insightful, and to understand, see, we get an integrate clause where it protects the space where they call Freetown, and also the legal-minded colleagues then will able to delve into that adequately, because I know so we get different laws then, they will not harmonize land tenure of the country, but I want to know specifically how that is impacted on Freetown, the capital city, and not the country at large. Thank you very much for that, Auntie Kassan. Next speaker, next person I'd like to call is Abdul Fatoma, who we can talk to me on the social human rights impact of this suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I want to tell the Freetown City Council for giving me the opportunity for participate part of this very important press conference. We as a country, we need to think first about the welfare of all citizens. We live at this country and the way they resident with we at this country. Than political party interest, than regional interest, than party interest, than alumni interest. For far long ago, Sierra Leone ideology don't become political than country ideology. And a few days ago, on my own personal opinion and a position as a Sierra Leonean, I put out a message condemning what I consider as a divisive plan. Why I say divisive plan? Because the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is strongly recommend to we say, after we war done, some of the lessons that we make we go into the war. And we will come up from the war, we're not going to repeat that. They strongly recommend to we, the one that will work in that process and gather that recommendation and hand that over to we as a country. We will be inclusive in decision making. Meaning, if we local council with central government want to make any decision with a policy, we therefore touch on with all life now with community. We the people then at that community, or we the people then at this country, for the part of that policy conversation. And then say we for do public engagement. Meaning we for inform with people them about what we want for do, what we plan for do as a country. So either the local government administration or the central government administration, any policy we they want for take. Therefore, ensure say they do public engagement so the people then will be well informed and they're part of that process. The other one way the TRC tell we say citizens-centric governance, meaning citizens then therefore they in the heart of the governance process. And if you get a cabinet, we can inform the people of this country, say, they don't do research. But I don't know, but maybe other citizens have set their eye on that research paper. Me, Abdul Fatoma, I don't read that research documented. And anything pertaining in the public, more for development, not to classify information. A security matter, and maybe other thing, we get national security implication. Classified, and only few people where they implement and enroll that plan radio on that document, and then no more forget access. But we, the public, we also forget access for no. We don't get any impact assessment report. For far too long, we talk about corporate governance in this country. But people fail to understand, say, in corporate governance system, you don't only do one impact assessment. We get 3 impact assessments. 1, social impact assessment, where they actually tell the people there about the social life of people or waiting there for affect the social life of the people they live. And secondly, we get a human rights impact assessment, where they for look into all your fundamental rights, either from regional instrument, universal instrument, and the national instrument. That can be either with local laws inside the constitution or either an act of parliament. But we also need to get the environmental impact assessment. Then 3 impact assessments a day. Now an informed information where they able to inform any policy maker, say, based on this information, we can able to take this life. But when we, or me as a person, maybe several of you in this room, put a radio outside where they watch, no able to see that, then me raise a concern as a citizen. Say, this divisive plan, because we are not involved. They did not tell me on which basis we need scientific basis where they guide me as a country. You take the argument, say, before the Ebola APCB plan for divide Freetown into 5 boroughs. Good. And Western Rural into 4. Good. But if people vote APC out, it might not mean say they only hate APC. It might be say the APC policies are not be good for the people, so they want to change. And if you come in that platform, say you come with a change, but then you cannot do the right thing, you want to do worst, and worst. It's not right. We need for hold political leaders and accountable. We need for urge them to be transparent with what we need to do. So with that, we will be able to get a better country. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that. And the end is actually quite resonating. Transparency, holding leaders to account, and also inclusion, as one points out the TRC recommendations. And I believe, say, one big deviation as a nation where we consistently go towards is the fact that we don't seem to want to focus on the recommendations of the TRC report. Because for the most part, if we do, a lot of these things that really happen, not going to happen at all. But this is not part of the process. But raise the awareness so people begin to understand, see, we cannot continue to sit idly by and condoning the wrong thing all the time. By silence, you are condoning, by the way. So you don't need to go out there and say anything. So moving along, I go on at this point, I'd like to call on Claude Bani Davis to just shed some light on some of the legal ramifications, because we've heard a lot, TRC reports, we heard a lot about entrenched clauses in the charter, and we know there are ramifications, legal, that have arisen as a result of this recent suggestion. So please, come to the podium.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. Good morning again. Good afternoon. Is it? Yes, good afternoon, Mayor and Press on. I then I have for, first of all, represent the views of Lawyer Society. We are one of the legal professional bodies where we team up for protect good governance and the rule of law and democracy. And we made our pledge to this nation, and we shall not falter in that pledge. Now, just today, I think it just coincided with this press conference. We released a press statement clearly condemning and raising concerns about this announcement by the minister, and we would question the genuinity of this intention. And that press release, they come with legal procedures. First of all, we note say by section 38, subsection 4 of the Constitution, it say any adjustment to constituencies, wards, or localities should be based on demographic information, and that comes after a census. And we know that the census, the proposed census, is to be held in December of 2026. You have not conducted that census, and you hear saying one of the major reasons that because of overpopulation. How did you arrive at that position? How? We will not get any evidence-proof position. For sure, say we don't do ABC, XYZ before we make this announcement. Again, even on the announcement, Section 2, subsection 2 of the Local Government Act of 2022 say the declaration of any locality or constituency for whatever reason must be done by the president in consultation with the Ministry of Finance and the Electoral Commission. We have not been told of any of that, and we have not seen that. Merely seeing the 98.1 that day that the minister himself said go the talk. And in not tell that they have consulted with the Ministry of Finance or with the Electoral Commission. So this is not the question that we will raise. And we have just been told by Doyen of the history of Sierra Leone, say the charter, and we were there in our lawyers, we understand waiting an entrench clause. Nothing way, they amend, they touch them in any legal document. And that entrench clause from the charter, don't tell we say, Freetown for remain a free society and community, and if we pass from the one them way being taken to we the ESM successors and successors generation from generation. Why the change? And we will hold. We're not stopping at this point. We loyal society. We will take this further, and we will hold accountable anyone who wants for change what is provided by law, so that we take. These are things that it's not about political reasons at all. You said, look at Freetown, and the deputy mayor just mentioned, where they start saying, Kenema is overpopulated than Freetown. But then you say, you agree, you can't divide Freetown. I read one social media post, I know I mentioned it anyway. They say, oh, Freetown already done divided. You get west, you get east. See, if Freetown City Council already don't divide them. I find that posting very, very misinforming. Because what now we are seeking, or the government is seeking to do, is to divide Freetown. When Freetown gets ward here and there, or constituencies, they are governed by one administration, which is the Freetown City Council. But now what they want to do is to divide it and being governed by two administrations. Already we struggle for get younger. And you want to come, then you create other thing. The more you get already, you can't take it. And then you can't say now you can't divide it. We will stand up against this for good governance, democracy, and the rule of law.
Thank you very much. Thanks for all for that. I think so the point has been made. One thing we I think say this will not go for tolerate that the non-compliance with the statutes and the continuous abuse of the constitution and the very laws then will be passed by parliament. Because sometimes it makes you wonder which part of the statutes applicable, which part not applicable. Because they take half, they left half. And we just take it just now from Robert Davis say the procedure is very, very clear. President, Minister, ECSL. Okay, we don't hear any of that at all. And conveniently, they expect we acceptance. So, I mean, I'm not sure say that's the way we as Freetonians want for this going to go forward. So we will continue, but raise the awareness when it comes to compliance. Because the law, as we as lawyers know, is not a respecter of persons. When it's applicable, it must be fully applied to the letter. And this time around, when it comes to saving Freetown, that's exactly what we'll be doing. I just also want to move along quickly and call on Reverend James Lahai to make a statement. Yes, sir. From you. Thank you. National Election Watch. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor in Capacity as moderator. And I want to appreciate the Council for recognize National Election Watch and invite them for make an impression at this press conference. The first statement adapts Salon, big pass all. And that we focus for the how we will protect Salon. When we hear it by rumor, say then divisions here get for can take place, we refuse for take position and decide say we for engage the minister so that we will hear it from him, so that we not go act in assumption. Unfortunately for we, the minister be hosted by Liberty Online TV. So we will not be getting need again for who meets the minister because he talk to the public. And according to the minister, they therefore create 2 districts. One where therefore be the cut part of Pujel, cut part of Bo, and create 1 district where they will call Adajuma district. And then another one where they therefore cut part of Kenema and cut part of Kailan and create another district where they will call Pangoma district. And then they will divide Western Rural District into 3 separate councils. And then they will divide Western Urban District into 2 councils. That is the issue on the floor. We know there is several debates for or and against that proposal. And all man gets a new argument for support the position we then they take. So for we are new, we not come for object, we not come for condemn, we just want to express an opinion on wetin we feel say will be the right direction, the way forward, how we suppose for move, and ensure say we put Saro first. Somebody say, I think na Fatoma, that the country in outlook don't degenerate into partisan sentiment. And so because the country in outlook don't degenerate into partisan sentiments, the country they lose. Because whatever position people that they take now, then they take them from the partisan lens. And we believe that any situation we rise, whether bad or good, can provide opportunity for help this country for go before, if we utilize them very well. We don't stand with any of the two sides of the debate, for or against. The minister say this is a proposal. Cabinet don't approve the proposal. They will also be engaged. With suggestion that as citizens of this nation, we need to approach the minister as well as the government and engage them. We don't apply confrontation, it has not paid off. It has always altered in a situation whereby our same citizens they suffer. Our brothers and sisters and then they die. Now we houses them and then they get bored. Not to house Guinea, not to house Ghana. So we at National Election Watch, we call on council, because this affects the council directly. Well, the council now already starts on the right trajectory. For let it call a press conference of this nature and educate residents about what's in the situation. And I understand that there will also be a town hall meeting where they will educate the public further. Whatever the council they gather from their engagements there, I would prefer they approach government of this issue. Whatever rationale government don't already they give for propose this kind of action is subject to further discussion. And hopefully we exploit that possibility. We might end up getting a win-win situation whereby everybody will believe say, fine, this is good for the country. We take an option where they make like a window to Sierra Leoneans. It is them and against us. So that is my suggestion to council. The legal people don't talk. But what's not about this country now because legal interpretations have been, they don't flow not in the interest of what saves the country, but what serves their purpose. And that they don't disadvantage on National Election Watch. Even when we observe elections and come out with independent opinion, where we say the methodology that we use is scientific, they're proven, and fail any science where it may be used almost everywhere where they conduct elections. But When the legal people they come, they will the aim will interpret and the way it fits them. When the other one they come, they interpret and the way it fits them. And they left with the citizens confused. No guidance, no direction. We need to break this vicious circle. It is not in the interest of building this country. Anybody can be head of state of this country. Any political party will win the governance of this country. Let me break this culture of dividing assets because of reasons where if we sit down together, we will be able to surmount. We will appreciate that this issue was seen to be a big problem. We will bring chaos and misunderstanding. If council will take the lead for transforming into a situation we will bring this country into one voice so that this country will prevail. I thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend James Lahai. Words of wisdom, words of inclusion, words of caution. And we're totally aligned with that. And we look forward to the engagement because this exercise is the preamble to this engagement. Because so far, as all previous speakers don't note, we not hear or know of any engagement states with the government and any other body already in approvals and announcements. So this is an opportunity for the government for NOSI. Council is taking the lead on this, and Council is ready to engage. But we're not going to sit down and things will be forced down the throat without engagement. So we talked earlier about community engagement. It is key because the people are going to forget ownership of what you want to do. And everyone is just talking where if we do things, we will allow communities to push back on the idea. If you don't consult, even if a great idea, they don't accept it. We in our council, we know only for facts. Water and life. But if you want to communities them, if you don't go do community engagement, they will never accept the good one can do. The people know see one can do them good, and if you understand the good, and if you accept them. And Freetown are different dynamics, with all due respect to the rest of the country. This is the space where everybody is equal in ceremony. In Freetown, nobody really kind of Freetown. We don't get rights for buy land, we don't get rights to do anything we want to do. This is Freetown, and Freetown must remain free. Other parts of this country, some of we know they go there and act freely because of the dynamics of the country. But Freetown and one melting pot, we are not here. Who say come in the world? You're welcome, you can build, migrate, do anything without no permission. So we have to be careful of how we handle the city. But we really thank you for your contribution, sir. I also at this point want to call Honorable Ben Ansari for just making a small contribution on this topic. APC Member of Parliament, by the way.
Very good afternoon. And a pleasure for represent the APC party. We did an honorable applicable. First of all, I apologize on the behalf. We get a very big event today in Lunge. We members of the caucus today. Your statements now will be very short. I just want to assure them on behalf of the caucus that everything we get for do with the law, with Parliament for do. We will stand with this position, a position we are a position of nation interest, a position we get for ensure say we know reverse this country. So we say we don't want it again. So we own it. Subsequent activities whether ahead for push this agenda for able to stop voting one for coming at this country. The APC Parliamentary Caucus deal with this journey. I want to thank all the speakers, and we'll continue for listening from various speakers. We'll take note, and when the leader return back, we serve as a parliamentary caucus of the APC. We go meet and come out with a position. One for thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for that. And we also look forward for engaged parliaments in their various capacities and see how we could get constructive dialogue on the pros and cons of this particular suggestion. And once again, we look forward for inclusion and engagement. So we go for deep dive on why we should or why we should not. Moving along swiftly, I want to call a colleague from the Creole community, Valcastle. Once you can share your view on this.
Good afternoon. I don't hear the part where I meet up because unfortunately I late small. But if una don't hear in the beginning, Mama Gaba don't talk, Waltina don't talk, una don't hear me. Because Waltina, you not talk yet? Okay. Now now we all in the echo. Creole descendant and Creole community now the same organization. Now a very important period we did now we country. We see a lot to go on now we country and a different side them as them they go. But Creole man say if you don't know who side you go, no side you come out. A very important study, a very important today. Usai we come out. Waiting bring Freetown about. Waiting make Freetown turn how it turns so. We like am so. We know like am so. It different from the rest of the country. How it different? It look like say a FIBA other citizen past the rest of the country. If not, that's not the problem. Well, let me make all side FIBA. Because I think it's important too. We long time ago, we've been the work in a different citizen na England. All time, me and the ref the talk say, all side FIBA, all side. And actually, you know what kind of Sheffield? Now you mind get for assure you say you know the London. Whether in Birmingham, whether in Bradford, whether in Manchester, whether you go Scotland, whether you do Glasgow, whether you do Edinburgh, all waiting they see, they shop them, the restaurants them, the streets them, the bus them, the lights them, all side FIBA, all side. So you can choose for the Usai one day, either because na day you get rope or na day you get us, or na day you just feel for them. But you know things say one side better pass one side. A lot they for do in terms of catching up. Freetown get for begin for appear like waiting modern city they look like na the world. We forfeit for that. But not only that, we for also try to make whatever Freetown look like. Let Cambia look like that. Let Magorka look like that. Let Bo look like that. Let all side look like that. So you are happy with Usa you did. So me things say, and Creole community things say, and Creole descendant union things say, before we begin shape, waiting not even do, because if it is sufficient for one, excavation for two. You know, creating case a day, a do in over. So just this normal. So I think say waiting we for do. Now for find way how we can decentralize. Because you know, when me can we go offline, the way I can collect and then small village the way we see them fine. But it's like say, because of opportunities, you know, work now the social amenity, they know the a lot of people that they drift downtown. Also, at least they can pass see where sabi, ask for small thing on a net, then go around the beach area, clubs, then they, you know, they're able for waste time small bits. There is in they don't make a lot of people come downtown. But how about if we spread out? And we begin get this thinking of replicating. If we don't get and not put an all cyber. If we get this big office now, let them get outlets now all the other places. Or in all means say all the headquarters then for dinner Freetown. Some big organization will come, mining or whatever, mobile company or whatever, banks or whatever. Let the headquarters be somewhere else. And then they get an outlet in Freetown. So by that way, you see say opportunity day for all man. If a no book, no fixing. Because what it look like right now, it's not like the side and day around where we need to forget not to car for good. Some community they in get road. That community not go there, not get road, you not get light, you not get water, you not get school, you make a city. So waiting, I think say we for come around and defend way for now how they want and they go able for benefits waiting now part of today your social amenity. Waiting we can appreciate and accept in we modern day. So waiting we for do. We don't begin the right way. We do round the table. If there are problems we have observed, waiting the people then see. Waiting at the different suggestions. When we get their suggestions, the one that we think say now we a way out, we begin for implementing. And by the time you realize, we will find out say, what of division when they really want now we life. Now expansion and replication of the social amenities will qualify every place in the real sense of the word for be called cities. So at this point, you don't begin well. Creole Descendants Union, Creole Community, you know the other morning, Mama Gaba called me and said, me not talk nothing. You not talk nothing. I don't know what for you call, you don't even call me. I said, no, Mama Gaba, you know say I get told, not tell me that. You know, even where they tell us I don't talk to other people that they think say are not just serious with the real news and we're not even nothing out of it. But again, there's a generational difference. And you see what will happen. We don't gather now and we look forward to ensuring that waiting you be afraid say will happen, not happen. We are together in this. We don't read Boku articles then where it's not like say waiting perhaps Mamigaba they look forward to, waiting most of who they look forward to, 9 days self the echo. And the one that way they in charge for make decision, who gets for listen and see what's in the people they say. Because after all, who do you represent? The people. And so if that is what the people think, you have to consider it. You have to consider it. And again, being a human rights lawyer as well, I know what it means for the people they feel say, no say, understand say, their rights are being considered. In a situation where the people begin to think that they have been sidestepped or ignored, even if they do not say anything. Whatever you do, you might be thinking the quiet might mean consent. Maybe in actual fact, contempt. And that is not good. So let's think properly. Let's think carefully. Let's do what will bring peace and happiness, not division, unhappiness, and unpleasantness. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. No, not division, but expansion. Now the message we'll get. And I couldn't agree with you anymore because I once said to somebody, when you live abroad, the only thing you could tell me, see, the area where I did, they are pursuing. Your mortgage, the expensive pursuing. And nobody could tell me. You don't go tell me, see, you get post office and not get, you get bank and not get, you get shop and not get, you get nothing again. All you could tell me, see, you don't go tell me, I got shop, I got only shop that you get an expensive area. Everywhere looks the same. And to be honest with you, really, this is why we're having this. But then we got a conversation around why some of the idea they ask yourself, people can think about it. Because if you get place where you got amenities, you don't get nothing, we call it city. Then I don't know how do we want to define here? Maybe I'm oversee. So but we'll get this slowly we'll get there. Because we need the whole country to have a national look, which is a challenge. These are the reality of the country right now. And we want to keep the conversation going. Without further ado, we just can round up, climax the speakers. And I think it's rather appropriate that we climax with no less a person than our hostess for the mostest, our worship, the Mayor Ivana Kisoya, open here.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I really miss Ladi Kodea and that I continue with the trend. We want to recognize the Deputy Ambassador of the EU, but because of the importance of this message, Ambassador, I'm going to continue in Creole. I'm going to talk slowly so that you can follow. Well, all the speakers, I want to start with Reverend. Reverend, what you talk, not true. Let this be an issue where unify me and not divide me further. But with all the other speakers that said don't talk, not true. We don't hear it, but it's me as the mayor of the capital city. I really am on social media. The first time where I get like hints, now being a minister of local government and community affairs, mention them. I go meet it afterwards. I'm like, you serious? And say, this will affect you. But that's not the point. This is not about a political position. This is not about whether Mayor Yvonne Akisoye will continue to be mayor of Freetown. Me two times it done. This is not going to affect me personally from the perspective of my office, but it affects me right to the core of my soul. Because this is a city where we know and love. And I want to let we know, say we did in this position because of the people of Freetown, because of Freetonians. And the primary issue, me as a mayor, the number one thing where they consume me morning, day, and night. Now, how to improve the lives of my residents? How to improve the lives of Freetonians? So what matters, number one, for me, now service delivery. So when a proposal comes up, without any consideration being given to what thing that's going to mean for how we citizens and they access services, how the city council, they deliver services, for me, now cause for concern. So let me start with the thing where I can always talk about. We get a city, we don't day young, others don't say, from 1792. We get a city council, Freetown City Council, Now one of the oldest municipalities in Africa, from 1893. The facts say we don't get other boundaries, rural, don't become rural. Those had to be informed decisions. But waiting at the role and the significance of a city council, now for deliver services. We don't make mention of the Truth and Reconciliation. We don't make mention of that report. One of the things that we that report talk about is say the concentration of power away from the people, the failure for decentralize. Now one of the reasons there for the war. And that's the decentralization. Valcastle make reference to it. He talk about, USAI services that they provided, USAI headquarters that they be. But even more importantly, you get the question of functions and mandates of city councils, local authorities across the country, vis-a-vis the central government. And one of the things where I see in social media, in addition to the question of the population size, hey, they're not able to manage the city. But the question where MIDI puts back to Freetonians is to what extent the mandate for management of the city actually did with Freetown City Council and all the other councils. When it comes to urban management, you get certain functions. In fact, I bring the letter because I want to actually quote some of the things that we read. And the letter I write, and this I actually research and make sure say what I write now from literature on the subject. A local council's primary purpose is thus to govern and manage a local area, representing the interests of its residents and providing essential service. Global best practice is for such structures to be responsible for local functions such as, number 1, land use planning and building approvals. Number 2, roads. Number 3, public amenities, as well as waste management in order to enhance integration required to efficiently deliver service to our residents. If we in Sierra Leone, unlike Dakar, Accra, Nairobi, Addis Ababa, the list goes on. I don't go up in Western world, the Africa examples at the Guna. For we in Sierra Leone get policy because the Act say land use planning, building permits for day with the local government. But Nasalo, we don't say no to so. It day with the national government. So we go sit on here as the council responsible in all of our eyes for manage the city. But person could go build us now at a side. Person could go build us now slope. Usai when rain come now landslide the be. Person could go build how much story us inside the center of Freetown, the CBD, with no parking provision for the vehicles we get for come. And guess what? Not only we not involved, we also not informed. So when you talk about managing a city, the number 1 function for any manager, any mayor, any local authority, anywhere in the world, that for able to determine waiting the goal usai and how. When you pull that function away, you don't create a very challenging environment for service delivery. Let me give you an example of waste management. Everybody the Allah, hey, Freetown dirty. I want to take a community. We not to an informal settlement because we know say the informal settlement when they expand. We have here Francis Reffel. He's an expert on informal settlements as head of Kodisapa. The informal settlements, you could think of Krube, you could think of, Portira Kupa, you could think of the places. You could think of Kokube, where we see the grow into the Aberdeen Creek. But let me take a community like Mount Orion. When you drive along the hillside bypass, SU8 to the right, if you drive towards the east, you will see hundreds, perhaps at this stage now thousands of homes. They're not to corrugated iron or not to pamboni. Now concrete ose to story 3, story 4, story ose. Why you feel started to bring Mount Oriel as an example? Mount Oriel, Nogan Road. No motorable access no day to an entire community. We give out permits, land sales, with no planning for access. So when rain become, what do you feel say they happen with Ndoti? Before the rain become, what do they happen with Ndoti? We don't go up there and go and engage that community and ask them for showing exactly how they manage, because no one can access them. If you look up as you drive along the hillside bypass, you will see the Ndoti, because the Ndoti they hang along the cliff. Yes. So when you say the provision of services by the council, you get to realize say there's an enabling environment where required. Where in the absence of that enabling environment, you make a situation where for be a simple one of service delivery become an enormous challenge. The water situation, not the same. When I came into office in 2018, Allentown, now in green space, Engineer Madupa there. Engineer Madupa, now an urban planner. It don't deal with this council from 2018. We've been so excited. Say we go able, at least there was one area of Freetown that could be planned. What are we hearing next? Then give away the land by raffle draw. And the raffle draw not include any pre-planning. When it calls sites and services, when you see in other country, before you so we no more to develop. Before you gain the land, you divide, you plan them. So you know say, no matter how many oaks you build, the road in Mark not already there. You know the land beside the road there. You don't plan say you get for the population of so many. So you don't put reserved areas for school, reserved areas for hospital, access for run electricity cables, access for run water pipe. Now this na in the land use planning. Where I don't talk about from our being mayor in 2018, where according to the new direction, the manifesto, when they come to the election in 2018, read the manifesto it. Then promising within 24 months, I make 1 year. I don't know, 12 months. I'm so emotional. Then say within 12 months, 1 year, they will devolve all the local council functions to the local councils. You might remember, go to the records, the day, media people, una forgot look on our records. On the 7th of March, 2019, Honorable Vice President, Dr. Jules Ajalo, he make a pronouncement. He pulled a press release. He said with immediate effect, all of their functions devolved. You know what happened next? The Minister of Lands go on radio and he talks say nothing, nobody. And a day we don't day from that 10 day to now. So when we talk about urban management, we talk about the challenges, waste management come to mind, the flooding where we experience come to mind. The other function, very important for that we understand, now road maintenance. Today I see any post, now social media, big flooding they happen right now by Generite Road for Komot na Upgon, Kandong. If you're not familiar with that area there, you're going to say if they're in bad shape. Yesterday, I attended the funeral, very sad event. We walk out from All Saints Church, Kissy Road, to the Kissy Road being grown. And we walk out on Kissy Road. The state of Kissy Road. Pothole, broken. You talk about Sekine Road. You talk about Juba. You talk about the center of Freetown. Outside the street furniture, their railings, don't so, don't for them so. But guess who is responsible for road construction, road maintenance, drainage construction in the capital city? Not your Freetown City Council getting mandate, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority. And in years past, they may use a clause within the Local Government Act of 2004, where we say feeder roads will be managed by the local councils. So on the basis of that clause, Freetown City Council, when they get small funding from IMFA for do road maintenance, because people get that memory there, when I get that memory when I see Freetown City Council, they do road maintenance. But in 2018, when I become mayor, I've been called to a meeting at SLRA when the then chairman of the board of SLRA say they don't redefine feeder road. And as henceforth, Freetown not get feeder road, and therefore Freetown not go get any road maintenance fund. So from 2018 to this year, for the first time this year, we don't able 2025, we don't able negotiate for let IMFA give you small money, but we not be able for use them for road maintenance. We use them for construct a bridge and for do flood mitigation. And in 2021, IMFA been giving money for flood mitigation back as we request. But when it comes to road maintenance, something where everybody would expect, say, a local issue. Now you go to the portal, then now you know your city, but it therefore be done at the central level. Let me take another one. I've been there with my dear friend this morning. Before I go plant tree. Now Mount 13, now Guma Valley then compound. And I've been there with the MD of Guma Valley Water Company. People are getting ala, water no dey Freetown. The structure of the water management and provision in the city. Now for Le Guma Valley Company responsible for the provision of water to Freetonians. Not council. We not get a mandate. If we not see we go dig water well, borehole, water kiosk, we extend and support the mandate, the resources, the finance from a budget perspective, they go to Guma Valley. So I just been one for begin for giving a sense of the level of fragmentation of functions. Maybe I take one other one. And I take EDSA, not because I want to get responsibility for provide light or that is a challenge. But I want for them to understand, say, when una see EDSA, they dig pole, na Freetown, dig all that rubble around and left that dirty and go. When you see EDSA, then they cut the trees them, where they near the lines them, and left them go. I want to understand, say, this na coordination issue. And they write letters to EDSA. I talked to the EDSA boss, the acting boss now we did, less than 2 weeks ago. I say, please, I need una to understand, say, where una they cut them trees, for let they not cut una line, not do them like there's no tomorrow. We still need the trees, cut around, but not completely denude, nothing not left, the trees then go. Because there are other things where we need trees in our city. But just for showing that the coordination challenges. And finally, I also want to bring to an attention, I give 2 examples. One relates to flooding. Low-cost community, Usai Councillor Hakide. Barracks Road, Old Road. I don't know if you're familiar with Barracks Road. Barracks Road, like many, I could have called any example, but I just choose that one day. Barracks Road gets water when we pass under a bridge. Remember? Then there's a year. We don't get a structure. How many stories? 3 or 4 stories. 3-story structure. We don't build beside the bridge end, beside the water for continue. The building don't go up. When I know that place there. So of course, when rain come, what do you expect will happen? we're going to have flooding. And I just use this as an example for draw people their attention to the practical realities of what we're facing. And the other example I'll bring is the deforestation. The deforestation, where you get construction to go on. Look, I can give you an example in an African country. Arusha, it's a city in Tanzania. For let you cut a tree, and if the same applies in London, but I give you an African city as an example. For let you cut a tree, you get permission from the council, from the local council. And for let the local council give you the permission, you get for plant 5 trees. And the trees then get for reach a certain height before they will allow you for cut 1 tree. This is the city where for let person cut tick, there's no requirements. Indeed, in fact, when I go and see say Takugama, don't close to the public because the entire for fed defense. So when we say local council, we number one issue for be how for make the lives of we citizens better. If waiting I don't share with una so, they show the challenges around mandates, around coordination. I want for Larry understand saying splitting Freetown and having 2 councils that have to now coordinate not only with central government agencies, but between themselves. Now more challenge and not less. Nothing no day about splitting the city into 2 councils where go improve the service of the delivery of services to residents. Then I want to come now onto financial matters. Freetown City Council will be funded, like every other council in the salon, from a combination of own source revenue and grants, and then external support. Freetown City Council, we don't grow the revenue base through the digitization of the property rate system. That property rate system was challenged when it started in 2020. But I'm so thankful and grateful and proud. So that same system now to be rolled out in McKinney and Kenema. And the plan of government, with support from the World Bank, that will roll them out throughout the entire country. But the cost of managing the system, not insignificant. And we don't get a citywide system when we build before anybody else buy the idea. Because if you now remember in 2020, we were told to stop. Eventually, we started again. But one of the great things about that system is it go down to granular detail. So we're able to tell Freetonians, and we can show now on the records, how much money is raised from which parts of the city. So if we talk about an east-west divide, we take the first 24 wards within the east, and we compare them to the 24 wards within the west in terms of the revenue generated. We look at the property rates. For the whole year of 2024, we raised 22.8 billion, I think it was. 22.8 billion for the year. I want to get the figure correct. Yeah, 22.8 billion. Of that amount, only 20% come from the 24 wards in the east. The whole of the 24 wards in the east, waiting and contribute to that figure was 4.6 billion. This is all loans. 4.6 million new loans. The remaining 80% come from the 24 wards in the west of the city. The other point very important, the east of the city more densely populated than the west. 2/3 of Freetown live in the east. 1/3 live in the west. So if you do an east-west split, you automatically create a situation where the more populous part of the city will get less revenue potential currently to be seriously disadvantaged. Because when we do as Freetown City Council, when we decide to build transfer stations, we not say we not go build at the east because they not get money. 6 transfer stations. 4 were built in the east, 2 in the west. When we built the Congo Water markets, nursery for market women and picking them, now the east we build them. We don't put a bid out for build a market in Allentown, now the east. If we rely purely on the resources we come from the east not able to map by itself. So you must look at the city as one city. This information were relevant. Mehmet Abdul Fatoma say, you have to do assessments. You need to look and do research. You're not going to make a pronouncement. We're going to end up, handicapping a part of the city. And when it comes to compliance with the CNRA, we normally struggle for tax compliance. Overall tax compliance in the city is currently at about 48%. But in the east, now 33%. In the west, now 54%. We get a journey for go. We don't want for the compliance be low. We want for the improve. We always work with the councillors to say we need tax compliance to improve right across the city. But you can't arbitrarily divide this city into 2 and say cope on your own. The city in history, now a connected history. There's so much potential in the Kleintown area with the Old Survey College, with that Tuga Stadium, with a regeneration of that area there. But all we do as city council, we do them with a comprehensive plan, transform Freetown, transforming lives. So much of the revenue where we spend, not to even own source, most of the projects where we work on, where we be delivered with external funding, it happened because of an articulated plan. You split the city, you left one council for start from scratch. I think the learning curve will be very steep and very detrimental to the residents of that city. I also just want to point out, the Act, the Local Government Act, Section 2, where it talk about the creation of new localities, give an obligation to central government for support the creation of those. You require an administrative office. You require staff. You require operation costs. At this point in time, the running cost of Freetown City Council already there at a level. Sometimes they will say, I don't know what the names are going to were proposed, but we're not going to get there by body power, because I hope that what we're showing and demonstrating and the conversation we're opening with Freetonians, they help we all for realize, that's not a cost where the city go rather be plowed back. If that money there, let me plow them back into road maintenance. If that money there, let me plow them back into upgrading Cottage Hospital. If that money there, let me plow them back into the municipal schools. If that money there, let me not use them for set up another administrative body and increase the tax burden on our residents. Right now, we day in June. From last year, July, I not believe was certainly I can talk from this January. I not talk last year, July. We day in June. From January to date, the tide grants, when I in with it take for pay them small things and I pay choose, them invigilate exam, library board, the money we council, they get, all councils, the way we get from government. Now June this, we not get 1 penny yet. So since there's clearly financial challenges, why increase the burden? Council, now we pay with staff. We have roughly 600 personnel who we pay every month. We run the vehicles. We run this building. This cost constantly, Mayor tell we all, let us increase our revenue, be more efficient, so we can deliver more services and more infrastructure development to the city. The thought of doubling the cost of administration at a time where we per capita revenue generated in this city is already one of the lowest in Africa, I think say that's something we definitely need to be reconsidered. And I would just also come to something that others then don't touch on, which is that decisions such as this must be data-driven. The Local Government Act clearly gave the authority to the head of state for make this declaration. But it also say that this declaration, I go read them, it states that the Minister of Local Government, the Minister of Finance for all the financial things that we talked about, and the Electoral Commissioner shall, una legal people them, una know it shall mean, shall, it's mandatory, in making any recommendation to the President, consider population and population density, as well as geographic contiguity, topography, and the future expansion and growth of the area. Freetown, na 82.4 square kilometers. Freetown, now one of the smallest capital cities. I don't say Banjo small past me, but we small. You have cities where get less population than we, but the space is bigger. And what's unique about Freetown? We enveloped between the mountains and the ocean. We ain't going nowhere. I mean, when you talk about future growth and expansion, you can go up into the hills and you can go into the ocean. But there's a limit as to how much we could grow. And when you talk about population density, this is now one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Data supports that. And when you talk about administrative efficiency, when you densely populated, everything is mixed. Yeah, that where I touch, you touch back. Everything is connected. So you don't want to split your functions more because it becomes more challenging for coordinate. When you're densely, when you sparsely populated, you get in rural areas, so they have big space. The people that know that's Boku, you go say, well, for letting get services, let make 2 naya so that they all go able to be reached. But we say we deal with this denseness, and we deal on top of one another. And the density, as Samuel Bini say, now because the investment not all happen out of Freetown. I can joke with my colleagues them. I can tell them say, una for pay me. Because all our residents don't come out Kenema, come na Freetown. They don't come out Bo, can na Freetown. Don't come out come there, can na Freetown. You dey go upline. You dey meet whole villages. We post know the again. Natural talk on a lie. Natural talk. They are here in Freetown. So the answer, if we care about service delivery and improving the lives of Sierra Leoneans, we must invest in the rest of Sierra Leone. We must invest the district factories we talked about, the employment we talked about, having headquarters out of Freetown. That would be a very sensible way forward. And finally, as I conclude, this morning and yesterday, we see a lot of comparisons being made with London. And I want to shed some light so that there's an understanding. My co-chair of C40 Cities, now the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Sadiq, now the Mayor of London and Greater London Assembly. All they under mayor the way you see, then they under one mayor. And that mayor, when Sadiq Khan, get the strategic urban planning function, transportation function, environment function, because of what? The need for let you get integrated planning for service delivery. The smaller mayors, including the mayor of the City of London, where as he said on the trend yesterday, let's just understand the City of London Corporation, now a special case. Not all people then they vote from. Then get companies then within the City of London where they vote for this mayor of the City of London Corporation. This is a business area. It's called the Square Mile of London. It's specifically about the financial sector in London. So there's no comparison to be made between that and what we talk about. And you get the mayor of Merton, and you get the mayor of Lambeth, Then mayor they all, then ceremonial figures. The executive mayor, not the mayor of London. It just like say, one build up with board. So even what was described by former President Nkrumah about boroughs was not new cities. It was not to fragment, but to deepen decentralization under the leadership of a single mayor of London. So you go find out, say, then they get election at the borough level for their mayor. But then the whole of London, the vote for the mayor of London. So just to clarify that, in case anybody was being misled or misinformed, it is totally different from waiting be proposed way Reverend Lahaido explained, say in your firsthand, say for divide Freetown into 2 cities with 2 councils. Ladies and gentlemen, we all there today at this press conference because we want to start a conversation. As others have said, we are Freetonians and we love we city. Whether we born here or we come here, we are all Freetonians for as long as you live here. And waiting matter, now for let we raise the city up, not bring the city down. And my humble submission is that these plans, now plans that we go increase the cost burden on the city. We go make the ability for coordinate and manage and deliver services more complicated. And we're not rooted in any data. Because the latest census where we get, when at the midterm census, say Freetown in population reduced by 42.3%. You say we only get 609,000 people in a Freetown. And not only that, in the following year, the budget from the central government was reduced for reflect the fact, say, the city in population don't reduce. So this is the data that we know exists. And we're very excited that a census is going to be held in December 2026 because we believe that census day will give updated data upon which a decision can be taken. But even if the population of Freetown go to 2 million, I want to know, say, Lagos get 20 million people, Nairobi get 5 million people, Dakar get 1.7 million people. The issues that Freetown faces is not its size. The issue that Freetown faces is not having enough councils. The issues that Freetown faced is the lack of coordination and mandates. We are calling for the decentralization of the key mandates which are required for effective urban management. Let's fix Freetown. Let's ensure that our city has the opportunity to grow in the manner it should. Let us save Freetown.
Thank you. I think we'll all get the message. As like they say, Ampa. A word for the wise is quite sufficient. We don't get a proper insight as to why we need to have this conversation. Like my worship just said, we need to fix Freetown. Lack of coordination and mandates are our biggest problem, not so the size or the density of Freetown. So on that note, the conversation is open, and we don't get to the stage of this press conference where we deal with questions and answers, questions from the press and answers from the various speakers or whoever questions are directed to. But obviously, we also will encourage, we're not averse to observations people must have made whilst here as well.
Flagware expert for the APC, and I have Harry Esquire, Flagware affluent of the APC. I'm both Freetonians, and I'm very grateful that they made the time.
Absolutely. Freetown is a dynamic city. And for us Creoles, we don't feel like we'd like to see any alterations that we have not all agreed upon. Because as Auntie Kassan was saying, from the get-go, the Creoles have embraced all of the various ethnic tribes in Sierra Leone. So we don't have any particular preference at all. And we have all coexisted perfectly well in Freetown as one. And this is the idea we intend to carry on with, and not anything fractious or divisive. At this juncture, we'd like to questions from the media and answers. I'd like to call on John Bemba, Kamara, Bemba, to coordinate this sector. Sorry. I'm just thinking Kamara and Bangura. They're just in my mind.
Anyway, so we open the floor for questions for the media. If you get a question, let me know, then the mic will go around. Okay, Epic Radio.
Reginald Brown Ojukutusa from Epic Radio. I have one question, I worship. Last week you sent a letter to the Minister of Local Government. I would like to know if you've got any response from them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We open the floor for several questions, then we will go over to Mayor and the team for responses. Any other question, please? Okay, Global Times, Mohamed Fofana.
Good afternoon. I'm Mohamed Fofana, editor of the Global Times newspaper. So, Madam Mayor, we don't know your position yet on this issue. With all those explanations, we want to have a firm position about this issue. Just explain without taking any position at all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes.
Yes, my name is Saidi Tumbuya from Exclusive. Madam Mayor, what is responsible for the low revenue generation in the East? Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, please? Any other question? You have a comment? Okay. Let me cross over to you for a comment, then we will go over to Mayor to respond to the questions. Go to Adi Macaulay Esquire, please.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Deputy Mayor and councillors of the Freetown City Council for letting us bring up this very important issue. You know, they can say we something up well, not fix it. For let you come for fix something, you get to understand first the issue. People feel say the issue of Freetown, not the population. No. People feel say the issue of Freetown, now just you get a single unitary council. No. The issue of Freetown, like some of you don't point out, long time ago, decentralization, decentralization, decentralization. The laws are there. Just implement them. Everything will fall in place. Quite a number of issues don't come up. And again, it is about consultation, engagement. We on able lawyer don't raise legal issues. Even Momi Cassandra Gaba don't raise the issue of the agreement where Kina and Bana signed in 1792. And when you look at section 125 of the 1978 Constitution and 177 of the 1991 constitution, it gets implication for that treaty day. Because the 1978 constitution, 125, recognized the laws and treaties, customary laws, and all of that. And the 1991 constitution replicates within section 125, say in 177 of the 1991 constitution. So there are legal implications. And may order open up also the financial issues we involved. And without speaking to Mayor Abidin at television, then there's a while he said, look, so now you're not even take care of one council, you can't take care of two councils. For every council, you can forget a CA. You can forget every staff within a Freetown City Council, you can forget now the new council we want for create. And I believe, say, this was done in bad faith. Because I listened to Tambalamina, the minister, and he talked in the way he says, not believing. And they talk about Freetown expansion. Take a break. Now, una your figures say Freetown don't reduce. Even una school census, if picking the way they go school go past the people within a Freetown. It is mathematically impossible. I listen very much to Reverend Lahai, and I like the way you speak. Engagement, engagement, engagement. I hope, say, this is more channeled to the government because they are the recipient of engagement. We don't see in the past where Freetown City Council and many other institutions, even civil society organizations, they engage the government on several issues. What you don't find in any country is when the government gets a tunnel vision. Say we not open up to any other idea. Now we new idea no more we open up to. It causes friction. Before I close, one thing the way we go around as flag bearers, who we talk to, delegates, chairman of district and all that. You say the economy district for can help. But me when I the district chairman, they tell me. He say anything for me without me is against me. So we as Freetonians, if you feel say you can divide Freetown into smaller units, you say na for can help we, they not tell we. That effort they na against we. So we dey ask the government for reconsider, re-engage, na so then do with the Cyber Crimes Act. Pass go come on and do make boku noise na intend they come on and begin go engage society. Anything that affect people, engage them people they will get the potential for effect. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we come again for questions. Mayor, we get 3. 1, any feedback from the ministry? 2, waiting on your position, and I'll try to one. I guess the media already know, but a good Mohamed Fofana they ask. And why the low revenue base the east of Freetown? Over to you, Madam.
So with respect to the response to the minister, no official communication from the minister in response to the letter. 2, my position on the issue, I think my position clear. My position is that for a number of reasons, principally because I'm convinced that this move will be detrimental to service delivery. And that's coming from a position of having the data, the experience, consultation with residents to back that up. So my position is that I believe, say, even the Western Area Structure Plan project with the World Bank they do now, they recommend creating more of a metropolitan, you bringing us closer together, not dividing us. So you may know that we about for launch Dirty Must Go, the new bylaw for Freetown City Council for sanitation. We don't realize, say, we don't need to forget word C involved because of how we waiting to happen in our regions. If possibly if dirty in our regions, it end up now Panama Road. So we are going totally in the opposite direction. It is our view that this is a mistaken move, not founded on data, not founded on fact, not founded on consultation. So it's our humble request that this plan be reversed. This plan be cancelled. And if there's a need, there's a view that we need consultation, absolutely. But we also need to know something. There is an academic body of literature on urban management. You know, versus the West and the Freetown get a lot for do with the level of economic empowerment we currently do in the East versus the West. I think, say, you've got, you basically, even the properties, because we assess the properties based on 28 criteria. So even with full compliance, the East is still going to give less than the West, just because of the economic situation in terms of the property values. When you get more overcrowding, you get less facilities, you get less road access. I think it's just the way this to me, this has also been a failure of the way decentralization has been done and the way investment has been done. So many of the communities in the East are not planned at all. So if you think about where Freetown was, you know, I grew up in the 60s, late 60s, but I was born in the late 60s. I grew up in the 70s, 80s. And there are communities in Freetown where, like Lumley, Spur Road, these were residential communities. In the East, we get Kisi. So if you think about Kisi, Kisi is very planned. Kisi in a grid. You know, you begin move beyond Kisi, you go Wellington. We had an industrial area in Wellington. That was also a source of revenue and income for that community. But you saw a decline in the industrial area where not really they function anymore. And then you saw totally unplanned growth. When you begin go now to Calabaton, you go Poti, you know, you no longer see that sort of planned investment. So it's a historical issue, I think. But it's one where, from your perspective, one of the we development agenda is transform Freetown, transforming lives. We're really passionate about improving and raising the standards right across the city. So one of the major targets, neighborhood upgrades, you know, and we're targeting 3 communities in the East right now: Moiba community, Coconut Farm community, Rokupa and Poti, where you go see we can come with World Bank funding. We'll be coming in with roads, we'll be coming in with lights, we'll be coming in with facilities, you know. So this is where we are today. It's not where we want to be tomorrow. But a split of the city now, leaving the East within low revenue base on your own, would definitely be detrimental for all the people living in the East.
Thank you so much, Madam. I hope that helps us. We get any other questions, colleagues? Any other question? Okay, I know we all get for run go for write the news. We TV set them all on for me watch the news. We end up Naya, but may I make a point? No data, no facts, no consultations. Repeatedly, these are a few points we don't come up. But as media practitioners, we don't share the open letter. Let's see how we also be part of the conversation. Let us ask the critical questions. Let us get to government and see they also do the needful. Dividing Freetown means a lot. The heritage aspect alone, you know. So we say thank you to now. The fact that we call now a weekend, a Saturday on a camp means a lot. Let's be part of the process. Nothing must go, they can. We run for clean Freetown, forget a clean Freetown. And the media, we repeatedly they ask for the support. Now also use this platform for Colonel for continue for giving the support we and always done the gay to council. Thank you once more. We end the press conference and for the media, we'll get some side conversation. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Hey, the first though.
song we rise, why are we shine? Bringing light, holding truth, we the fight for time.
So I just want to tell you, say we are then they come with them all white iconic events. Again for be Saturday, June 28th, live inside France. You know, for funny, of course, we know say, you know, anything when our Bible and Shembe Pierre in the one. Now top notch iconic. You understand what I mean? Don't forget June 28th, live inside France. We are with them all white iconic event.
Remember, Saturday, 28th of June, live inside France na Strasbourg. We are white dinner and iconic party. No can support Sengbe PM by Bure. See you all there. See you there. Love you.